Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to Spearhead Sundays. Today, I'm recording this on Saturday, the 23rd of January, so you'll be listening to it on Sunday, the 24th of January, because that's how time works. How you guys going? Hope you're having a shit one. I'm having a pretty good one. No, it's all right, buddy. I'm not yelling at you. My dog, I've got the dog on the bed, and he's just absolutely freaking the fuck out. Thinks I'm yelling at him. It's all right, buddy. Don't worry about it. I'm just talking in a room alone, totally normal human behavior. I swear to God, this is our rescue dog. If you get a rescue dog, you pretty much have a dog with Asperger's. Like, apparently we're his third home, and he's a whippet, and whippets are usually timid dogs, but this one is something else. Like, he just kind of he'll just sit on a chair and watch everybody and just vibrate. Like, he just shivers all the time. He's like a fucking phone that won't stop ringing. His name is Albert, which is a shit name for a dog. Albert is a name for a human that never gets laid. That's what Albert is. So since last week was my birthday, that's pretty cool. I did end up getting those comic books. I went down to South Yarra. I went to the comic shop. It was fucking sick. You know what I got? I got two Darth Vader comics. I got the Volume 1 and Volume 2 of the new series, and fucking hell, it is a brilliant series. If you're into comics at all, or even if you're not, I would really recommend this. Like, it's real easy to pick up. You can just begin it. The art is beautiful, and it's all like Darth Vader being a fucking badass. It's like set between the second episode of the first trilogy. So after that movie, after they blow up the first Death Star and Darth Vader's failed, so he has to go and redeem himself and do a whole bunch of sick missions and be a total fucking badass and shit like that. So it's a sick comic. I definitely would recommend. But yeah, I've actually been having a really, really good week because few things been happening. My live show is going on pre-sale on the 28th, so that's what's that? Sunday's the first day of the week. That's this week, guys. The 28th. My tickets go on sale for Melbourne for everybody who is on the gig list. That's lousespears.com/gig list. What did you say? What did I said? I said lousespears.com/gig list. Are you listening? I'm gonna have to let my dog out because he thinks that I'm abusing him. It's all right, buddy. Come on, come on. There you go. There you go. Shit dog. What a pussy dog. Whippets are already pussies to start with, but he's like, I don't know, he's something else. I remember one time I walked a little bit too quickly for some reason. Like, he just doesn't get body language. I walked a little bit too quickly in the house and he just pissed all over the floor. Like, I've never seen a dog do that kind of shit. I don't know, he's weird, man. He's definitely got Asperger's. But yeah, the pre-sale starts on the 28th, which is awesome. The Patreon people who are supporting me on Patreon, shout out to all you cunts. They have been buying their tickets because their pre-sale started first. I've got 2 pre-sales. What a fucking rip-off for everybody who's not on the thing. I've been selling quite a few tickets from there, so man, I'm feeling really good about this show. I feel really, really good about it. The first year, I had no idea what the fuck I was doing. You know, I'd never done a show before. I didn't know if you guys were gonna fucking turn up, but ended up selling out like the vast majority of my shows, and then I was like, oh fuck, I can tour now. So I went on tour and sold out the majority of those shows, which was sick. So this year, I know what I did right, I know what I did wrong, and everything's running smoothly. I'm doing the tickets differently too. I'm doing them all on my own website, which is a massive fuck around, but it means for you guys, no really low booking fees and no fucking transaction fees. I got rid of all that shit. Because you know when you buy, you know when you want to see a guy who's not like super famous, like their tickets are $20, like mine are $20, right? You see a dude, it's $20, and then you go on Ticketek and there's like a fucking $8 transaction booking fee and then like a 5% transaction fee, and all of a sudden this guy's tickets are fucking $30, and then you just like, well, he's not that good, and then you just fucking feel ripped off. Well, not with my show, right? If you think I'm not that good and you only want to pay $20, hey, That's sweet, man, because the booking fee is $1.50, and that's just to because the services that I'm using, I don't know, they take like a percentage off it. So rather than you pay it, I'll pay it. And another thing, I get to sell it all on my own website. No one's fucking doing that. That's really cool. That's pretty cool. That's a thing. I don't have to worry about any third party. So, and you guys know that the money's going directly to me. Nobody's taking a percentage. Nobody's taking a fee. It's all mine. So, yeah, I'll be able to afford meth for the rest of the year, which is good. But yeah, it's been a big fuck around. Another thing that I've done with my website, I've been really getting into this website stuff, is I've put the podcast on there, which is pretty cool. So now you'll be able to, every time I link the podcast, because you know when I was doing it before, like I had to put the link on Facebook, and then people would be like, oh, this is iTunes. I don't use iTunes. I want to use Android stuff. And then I would have to link the other one. And then sometimes I would link the Android one, which everyone can use. And then the Apple people would be like, no, I don't use Android. I use iTunes. So it was just fucking annoying. So now I've just set it up. I've put both of the links, both of the players embedded on my website. And then I just have to link my website. So if anybody goes, no, I don't, I'll just be like, fuck you, click it, and you'll figure it out. So, yeah, that's a thing. I must be in a good mood. I'm yelling a lot on this podcast. Another thing, which is awesome, 90,000 subscribers on YouTube. Hey, suck shit, everybody. That's a really awesome thing. Thank you very much. I imagine that everybody in Australia is getting fucking pretty spooked of Lou Review, I tell you that. So I'm really enjoying the series. I've got a really good video coming up as well. I wasn't going to tell you guys, but fuck it. It's on those children that do YouTube covers, but not like the webcam ones with, you know, a guitar and they actually kind of sing. It's like Maddie B. It's the one, you know what it is? It's like the new version of pageants, for like children's pageants, but for boys, right? So all of these parents are like, if I put $10,000 into a film clip, I'm gonna make my fucking son famous. And then they just like put their son in there and they take a song that's about like fucking sluts or selling drugs and they change like 2 of the words and then they go, it's for kids now, it's not about drugs anymore, it's about flowers. And then they just put it on YouTube and then the film clip is just filled with like 8-year-old girls dressed up as sluts, and it's so fucked. Like, and the girls are just doing what they're told, but they're just, it's horrible shit. I bet that gets watched by a lot of pedos, if you know what I mean. So yeah, that's coming out on Tuesday. And the other thing that's really fucking good, this is what I'm most excited about. Actually, I was most excited about the show. Nothing really compares to this show, guys. So this is like a close second, is I hit my 3rd Patreon milestone. So everybody's supporting me on Patreon. It's been growing like really consistently, which is awesome. And that milestone is quitting my job. So fuck, I'm gonna have to quit my job, which is amazing because now I can just 100% do comedy. That's all I've really wanted to do, is now instead of calling in sick because I want to do a video, I can just never go back. So I'm gonna quit. I'm gonna post evidence of me quitting, probably on Twitter. It probably won't be good enough for Facebook. So you guys can follow along. I'll give you the story. And now I can tell you where I used to work, or where I will have used to work, because I haven't quit yet. But fuck 'em, I worked at call center for Village Cinemas. Yeah. Who knew that Village Cinemas had a fucking call center, right? Who the fuck books tickets to a movie over the phone? There's the internet that you can use, and if you're really old and stupid, you can just go in and do it. The only people who call in to book movie tickets over the phone are the guys that are too stupid to do it online, and they're too fucking angry and impatient to line up in person. So I'll answer the phone, I'll be like, welcome to Village Cinemas, you're speaking with Lewis, how can I help you? And then you'll always get this one cunt who's like, hey, I've been on hold for 10 minutes. And then I can see that it's actually been 2 minutes, and I'll be like, okay. And he goes, I want to book for a fucking movie. I want to see The Revenant. And I'll be like, okay, which cinema? Because, you know, there's like 100 Village Cinemas. Which cinema? What do you mean? Which Village Cinema 2? Because the dickhead thinks that he's rung Southland. I'll be like, bro, there's 100 cinemas. You're going to have to pick one. Well, Southland, I've got fucking the Revenant for Southland, and then we'll do the booking, and then I'll get through, and then I'll just be like, okay, sir, so that's 2 tickets for the Revenant, at $18 each, plus a $1 book, like literally, I'm not exaggerating, a $1 booking fee, and then here we'll go, a $1 booking fee? What a fucking ripoff! I'm gonna go bash my wife, and then I can like hear him just like fucking smacking the bitch. It's just a $1 booking fee. I don't care about the dollar. It's the principle. And I hear that and have to deal with that. So I'm really happy to leave that environment. But it wasn't, you know, the worst part about that job wasn't the customers. It was probably like the management, because they took themselves seriously. Do you know what I mean? Like when you're booking tickets, booking movie tickets for dickheads on the phone who can't work the internet out, that's not an important job. That's not a serious job. That's a job you do because you don't give a fuck about your life. Like the only reason I had that job was to pay for my tour, and now I'm getting that money from Patreon, which is really cool because I don't have a manager. So that's the only reason I had that job. But there were people working there who were like, this is my career. I'm going to sell movie tickets over the phone for a year, and then I might get promoted to assistant manager, and I will help people sell tickets over the phone. And then if I spend... it's just fucked. Call centers are fucked. If you ever think that you're going to progress in a call center, you're not. I remember before this, I worked at Ticketek, and when in my first week, they sent an email out, and... oh no, there was in my first week when I got interviewed by this woman. I ended up getting accepted, and then we had some, you know, time to talk afterwards. And I asked her a couple of questions, and I was like, "Oh, you know, how long have you been working here?" And she said, "Oh, actually, it was my 10-year anniversary last week." 10 years, 10 years, and this bitch is talking to me. Fucking, if you worked hard at anything for 10 years. You should not be talking to me. Like, that was I wasn't even hired yet. If she was there for 10 years, she should be on, like, a fucking island, sipping on mojitos, getting fucked by, like, men that she pays in G-strings. Do you know what I mean? Like, if you did anything for 10 years, it doesn't matter what it is. Like, if you worked at a skill, even a fucking ridiculous skill, like, what's a stupid skill? I don't know. Smashing stuff. If you got really good at, if you did smashing stuff for 10 years, you could become a millionaire out of it. But this woman worked in a fucking call center for 10 years, and she talks to the new applicants. That's fucked. And then they sent an email out after I got hired. I remember they were like, we're celebrating, I can't remember her name, I'll just call her Rachel. We're celebrating Rachel's 10-year anniversary at Ticketek. And I saw what they gave her. For her, okay, just Imagine spending 10 years of your life dedicated to a multi-million-dollar company, and you hit your 10 years, and then they go, all right, Rachel, are you ready for your 10-year reward? This is what they did for her. They gave her 2 hours off work for the day and took her out to lunch and gave her a $100 Ticketek gift card. I would have fucking... If that was me, if they sent me that email and said, you know, congratulations, Lewis, you spent 10 years with us. We're going to take you out to lunch anywhere you want to go. Limit of 2 hours because you've got to get back to work after. And hey, we're giving you a $100 gift card that you can spend with us so it doesn't cost us anything. You know what I would do? I'd be like, yeah, sweet. Let's go to my favorite restaurant. It's on level 10 of this building, and we get to like this rooftop restaurant that's really, really nice, and then I just fucking jump off the building, because that's fucked. I couldn't imagine, if you spend 10 years doing anything, consistently doing anything, because she worked there, what, like 8 hours? If you imagine spending 8 hours a day for 10 years doing anything other than working at Ticketek, you would be a fucking millionaire at whatever you choose to do. So that's why I'm trying to get out of this life, so I can spend 10 years being a comedian, and then hey, I might be a fucking millionaire. I'll probably be homeless, but you know what I mean. But yeah, so anyway, I got really off track. I just had a rant. That happened like 2 years ago. I'm still angry about it. I saw that. I read that email and I thought, man, if I was Rachel, I'd jump off a building. And now I'm just ranting about it to you guys. I hope you guys are angry. I just hate jobs, I think. I just really, really hate jobs. Like, I like I think careers are cool. Do you know what I mean? But jobs, especially call centers. Do you know what I hate about call centers? I hate that you don't matter. Like if you left for the day, the business wouldn't close down. Like my first job was I worked at a butcher and I had to clean shit. It wasn't a very glamorous job, but I was the only guy cleaning shit. So, you know, if I didn't clean shit, the whole business would fuck up and they'd have to shut down because shit wouldn't be clean and people would die, you know? But if you're at a call center, you don't come into work, the queue time's going to be 30 seconds longer because there's also 100 people working there. So, yeah, I don't know. I just don't like being a cog in a machine, I guess. But yeah, the worst part of the job, the Village Cinemas job, wasn't the people. It was the management who took themselves seriously. Like, they were like, I sell movie tickets over the phone. This is a real job. I don't hate my life. I'm not depressed. I actually like coming in every day. And they took it so seriously that the fucking dress code was corporate. Now, a corporate dress code is a suit. Like, corporate dress code is what you wear to close $1 million deal or go to court and, you know, be a lawyer or anything like that. A corporate dress code is a suit and tie. They wanted me to wear a suit and tie to pick up the phone and talk to dickheads who don't know how to use the internet. And they were paying like $18 an hour. I remember one day I came in wearing a polo shirt and some trousers, and I got pulled into a meeting with my manager and my manager's manager. So my manager was in trouble because I wore trousers. Like, that's her fucking fault. And then my manager's manager was like, Lewis, do you know why you're here? And I'm like, no. Now, just to give some context, the call center was located in the head office. I'm not going to tell you where because I don't want you guys to fucking firebomb the place. The call center was in the head office. So everybody who works at Village worked in that building, from like the minimum wage guys like me all the way up to literally the CEO, the guy that owns Village, because it's a family business or whatever. So she goes, my manager's manager says to me, Lewis, as you know, this is a corporate environment, and I need you to understand that the CEO works in this building and he expects everybody to wear corporate attire because sometimes he walks through the call center and he needs everybody to be looking and acting professional. And I didn't say this because I needed the money for my tour, but I just wish I said, okay, well, I need the CEO to understand that he earns literally $20,000 a fortnight and I don't. I am earning minimum wage and everybody in the call center is working there fucking part-time, probably studying in university, scraping together money. They don't want this fucking job. They're just doing it for money so that they can fund whatever they want to do with their life because they don't want to end in a fucking call center for 10 years. A student working part-time cannot afford a fucking suit to answer the phone, right? At that time, I was earning about $300 a week and everybody was on that, right? Like, imagine, I was earning like $200 a week. I found $20 on the ground one day and I was like, shit, that's 10% of my income right there. I'm going to spend this wisely, you know, buy some fucking rice for the week and that'll feed me. If the CEO was walking down the street and he found 10% of his income, he'd be like, fuck, there's a suitcase with $2,000 on it. I'm going to spend this wisely, buy some cocaine. That'll last me for like a night. But what do I need a suit to answer the phone for? That's what I'm really trying to say. What the fuck is a suit going to do? Like, why do I need to wear a suit? Like, am I going to answer if I come into work one day wearing a t-shirt, am I going to answer the phone and be like, welcome to Village, how can I help you today? Oh, you want to book a movie to see Star Wars? You want to see Star Wars? Well, sorry, mate, I'm actually wearing a t-shirt, so you're fucked. I can't help you, mate. I don't know what you need a suit for. Like, really, it's a call center. You're on the phone. Technically, I don't even need to come into work. I could do that job from home in the nude with a vibrator in my ass, and I'd probably do a better job, right? If I was doing that at home with a vibrator in my ass, I'd be in a better mood. I'd tell you that. I'd be, welcome to Village. The CEO couldn't do that, could he? Like, he couldn't come into work in a business meeting in the fucking nude with you know, dildo in his ass. He'd get fired, but I'd be all right. Look, what I'm really trying to say, really trying to say is if the CEO really thinks that a university student working part-time can afford to buy a $500 suit to come into work to answer the phone, then fuck the CEO. That cunt is out of touch. So yeah, that's my rant on fucking jobs. So I'm gonna quit that job, which I feel really good about it. But it's because the last jobs I've had, I remember after my first tour, I didn't need a job for about 8 months, and then I had to get one because I just ran out of money and I needed to fund the tour because I don't have a manager and all that kind of stuff that a lot of comics do. I pay for all my shit myself, and I do it all myself. So it'll be now with Patreon and with YouTube, hopefully they will continue to stay at the same level and continue to, you know, the gradual growth that I've gotten, and that'll mean that I won't need, you know, a job. I'll have like $200 a week to just buy food and make videos for you guys and do it full time. Because really, I'm not doing this for the money. Like, the money just pays for food and pays for bills and pays for props, and then I can just do the shit that I want to do, which is videos, podcasts, articles, stand-up comedy. So I'm bringing all of those back. I put up a truth article last Thursday, and hopefully I can continue doing them every fucking Thursday for you cunts to read some fucking shit about stuff. So what else do I want to talk about? Oh yeah, this sexism stuff about Chris Gale, the cricketer, who said "don't blush, baby" and all that fucking stuff. Actually, it's not about that. It's what Mark Latham said recently. He was on a fucking... I want you guys to know that I don't know anything about this. Like, I read one article. Well, not even read. I skimmed through one article, and then I was like, yeah, I grasp this entire situation enough to properly comment on it. So half the shit's probably going to be wrong. The other half will be made up and untrue as well. So Mark Latham went on the fucking Triple M podcast or whatever. Mark Latham, if you don't know him, I don't know him either. He's just some... I don't like him. He's just some dude who says fuck stuff sometimes. But he went on the podcast, he was talking about domestic violence, and he said that extreme feminism and demonizing men does not stop men from beating their wives and girlfriends. That lowers their self-esteem and makes them angrier and makes them feel more demonized and victimized, which in turn increases the amount they bash their wife. Essentially is what he was saying. And then he went on to say that a lot of the time domestic violence is a coping mechanism because these people who do it are from low-income places and they've got drug and alcohol problems and they don't have much control over their lives, so they get that control back by beating the shit out of their wife or their husband or whatever they do. Which I thought was a fair point. Do you know what I mean? Like, if you fucking hate your life, you beat your wife. Hate your life, you beat your wife. Or whatever that is. But everybody lost their shit. Do you know what I mean? Like, everybody was like, you can't fucking blame feminism for men beating their wives, which is a fair point. But a whole bunch of people like Clementine Ford, who likes talking about how much she hates men and all that kind of shit, was like, I'm going to get the tweet that she wrote, about Mark Latham. Let's Clementine. I don't like going on her Twitter thing, but let's have a look. In before I'm in her next fucking article. Here we go. What did she say? Oh my god. Alright, here we go. Latham doesn't want to address how toxic masculinity harms men. He wants feminists to shut up so men can be boss again and still beat women. He can't claim domestic violence rates have gotten better and then turn around and say, well, it's feminism that makes men do it. So about half of that is a pretty good point. He wants feminists to shut up. Who doesn't? No, I'm just kidding. So yeah, I don't know. I don't understand why he's copying all the flack for it. Because from what I read in this article, I haven't listened to the whole. It's like a 20-minute podcast where he probably rants on about shit, but I don't really see anything that sticks out as incredibly sexist or anything like that. I mean, for him to say that domestic violence is caused by frustrated men who feel demonized, and the real reason people didn't like it was because he said that sometimes domestic violence is a coping mechanism. That's why people got upset, because for some reason that's sexist. I don't know. I think that's totally a coping mechanism. Lots of people do horrible things to cope with how shithouse their life is because it makes them feel better. Totally wrong, totally fucked, but people do it. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes having a crippling alcohol problem is a coping mechanism for being depressed. Why? Sometimes it's the same thing as sometimes, hey, I'm having a bit of a shitty day and I hate my life and I'm a little bit fat, so I'm going to beat my wife and it'll make me feel better. Totally wrong, totally horrible, but fucking true to call it a coping mechanism. Obviously not the only reason, but who gives a fuck? Let's stop talking about this before I'm in the news. The last thing I want to talk about was miscellaneous bit at the end. So, miscellaneous bit at the end, as you guys know, is the absolute fucking worst part of the podcast, worst part of the week, worst part of my life. So turn off the podcast now, because I don't really... it always makes me depressed. You know, I was speaking, when I was learning about this Mark Latham shit, I spoke to a guy who was actually beaten up by his girlfriend. He listens to the podcast, and he was talking about being bashed by his girlfriend, and... You know, I was talking to him, I was like, what was it like? And he's like, well, you know, it was really horrible because I'm a man, and it's seen as unmanly to be beaten by a girlfriend, so I was scared of being laughed at, I was scared of people ridiculing me for coming forward and talking about this issue. I didn't want to tell the police, I didn't want to tell my family, didn't want to tell anything. She always beat me, she put hot water on me when I was asleep, and it was just a horrible situation that I felt trapped in. And I didn't want to tell people about it. But you know what's even harder to tell people about? What's even harder to tell people about than dealing with, you know, getting beaten up by your girlfriend? And that's telling people that you listen to miscellaneous bit at the end. So, miscellaneous bit at the end is the part of the podcast where I answer your questions. If you want to send a question through, if you need some life advice from old mate Lewis, send it to contact@lousespears.com. I said contact@lousespears.com. What did you say? I said, are you contact@lousespears.com? You fucking listen, mate. So if you want to just send a question through, I've been getting a lot of emails. Make sure in the subject of the email you say, like, give me a little summary of what it's about. Like, oh, I need advice with my girlfriend, she does this, or my dick's really small, please help. What do I do in this situation? And then I'll read your full email, just so I know what I'm clicking on. Please don't make the subject of your email just hello or hey. That's fucked. If I see that, hello, hey, I think the email is just about saying hello. I don't want to talk to you. No, just make the subject concise, and then I can listen to it and read it. So here's the email that I got from, he wants to be anonymous. Okay. Yeah, and I'll keep you anonymous, or I'll credit you, whatever you like. Hey, Lewis, my name is removed, but for the sake of the podcast, call me Luke. Alrighty, Luke. I am 17 years old, and I have been in a relationship for nearly a year now. I am somewhat... So he's been in a relationship since he was 16. Okay. I am somewhat significantly... You can't be somewhat significantly. That's a fucking oxymoron, Luke. You need to pay more attention in school. That's like saying, I am kinda extremely... I'm kinda extremely a racist. Okay. I am somewhat significantly older than my girlfriend. What is she, 12? Like, what is somewhat significantly older than my girlfriend? Is she a toddler, or is she like 16? Because one of those is fucked. Okay. She's a year and 4 months younger. So how old is she? If you're 17, so she right now is 15 and 6 months. So hang on, when you've been dating for a year, how old were you? So last year, you would have been 16 when you first started dating her, and she would have been 14 years old. And Luke, mate, 14 years old? Come on, buddy. I don't know, is that fucked? 16 and 14? I don't know. Okay, rest of the email. But she's pretty mature. Alright, that makes it alright then, mate. If she knows how to play chess, you can fuck her. She's pretty mature, and at one stage was taller than me, so it's not that weird. Hey, it's all right. So now we know that midgets can be pedophiles. It's all right, Doc. She might have been 8 years old, but she was fucking taller than me, so let me off the hook. Is that all right? She was taller than me, so it's not that weird. Since I'm turning 18 in a few months, I will be going to jail. No. And since I'll be turning 18 in a few months, I will be able to buy things for my girlfriend that she can't buy since she's underage. Okay, Luke, getting pretty illegal, mate. Oh, he's not talking about alcohol. Okay. She keeps hinting at me to buy her a vibrator and other sex toys. What do you mean other sex toys? Like anal beads? And tags me in photos of them, but I'm not really 100% on buying it for her because of the age gap. What should I do? Call the cops on yourself, Luke. No, it looks like 17 and 16 is legal. Even 16 and 18 is legal. Look it up. I don't know, buying your girlfriend a vibrator. Shit, man, you might get replaced, bro, if you do that. Don't get her an expensive one. Get her an El Cheapo, and then she'll be like, oh, vibrators suck. I'll come back to you. I don't know. I think it's a weird one because a lot of girls find it hard to masturbate and discover their bodies without vibrators and things like that. But they can't buy them, which is a weird thing. I remember I read something on the internet where it's pretty fucking funny. I love this story. A single father who the mum died or was something fucking horrible. So it was just a man who had one daughter, right? One man, one daughter. And he kept discovering, she was like 16 or 17. So she was at that age when you start going, ooh, this bit feels weird when I do that with it. But he was discovering that things like deodorant cans and vegetables were being, used, anything phallic was being used by the daughter to put up herself. And he ended up, what he did was he was like, is it okay for me to buy my daughter a vibrator? Because obviously she can't be doing this with things in the house, but it's something that she'd be doing. And what he ended up doing was he bought like a prepaid credit card and gave it to her and gave her a list of sex shop websites. And he's like, look, there's no way I can tell what you buy with these, but go nuts. I'll never ask you what you buy, and that'll be the end of it. And I guess she went and bought something and then went and go fucked herself with it. So, I don't know, Luke, man. If you want to... At the end of the day, vibrators are expensive, bro. I don't know if you know how much they are, but they're like... Some of the good ones are like $200. You're only 18, bro. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money to spend on your girlfriend to buy a vibrator. Make her buy her own thing. I don't know. What I reckon is what you should do is you should... get her to pay for it. If she really wants one, get the money from her and you'll buy it for her. That's how you buy alcohol for an underage person, right? You wouldn't just buy her a bottle of vodka, you know what I mean? She gives you the money, you buy it for her, then you go to jail. That's how that works. So that's what I reckon you should do, man. If she really, really wants one, you obviously sound a little bit weird about it. Fuck, I don't know. Oh, she says she tags... She keeps hinting at me to buy her a vibrator and other sex toys and tags me in photos of them. Bro, what the fuck kind of relationship do you guys have where she just tags you? Is she the type of girl that tag you in like bondage sex positions as well? What kind of Facebook or Instagram page posts photos of fucking vibrators? That's weird as, bro. I guarantee you your friends see that in like the little discover page of Instagram. It'll say like Sarah tagged Luke in a vibrator and they're going to be thinking those cunts are fucked. I don't know, man. If you want to do it, but I wouldn't waste your money on it because at the end of the day, she's just going to replace you with it. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's important for women to have access to those things. I'm not too sure why vibrators and things are like, 18 plus. They should be, 16 plus because everybody fucking masturbates. Like, what are you going to do? Some people start doing that when they're like 13. I don't know, man. I don't know. It's up to you, bro. But don't spend your money. That's my advice. And that about wraps up this week's episode of the Nothing... fuck. It's not Nothing. I'm such in a habit of that. It's the Spearhead Sundays podcast, all right? So thank you very much for listening. I'll catch you next Sunday. And thanks for listening. And I hope you all have a very shit one.